Here we go. 3, 2, and 1.
What? Since when is this funny to you, Bo? Are we a joke to you? What's your problem, man? Get it together.
What's your game?
I just
Bo?
started
Really,
laughing at you, Jeff.
What is your game? Bo?
Because you're like, I'm ready. I'm ready.
And there's our intro.
Welcome to Access Sports Weekly here on AccessWDUN.com. Bo Wilson alongside Jeff Hart and our producers, always in front and behind the camera, Seth Chapman. Welcome to the show, gentlemen. How are you doing?
We're doing good.
Are you?
Yeah.
You sure?
I don't know why you keep asking me that.
I'm worried.
I know
Jeff.
we just started the show,
worried.
but just in
been
the last
prepping.
5 minutes, he's asked me that 10 times.
You've been prepping since 10:30 this morning for the show, so we're expecting.
Did you get some sort of doctor report on me that I don't know about? And you're
No, not at all.
Okay, I'm
not
just
at all.
curious.
Just just asking how you're doing.
I'm fine.
And in the short, I'm good.
Okay.
Just reveals maybe something. Seth, how are you doing?
I'm good.
So we need some Snickers on this show today.
I'm good, Bo. I'm pretty good.
Are you good?
Yeah.
Do you need some?
I could eat one, but
I could eat one.
I'm on this fasting rabbit diet, so
I could eat one. Y'all can see me.
I've seen your food. It doesn't look fun.
My head will spin around.
I need to do something like that too, though. I do.
yeah, it's
Yes,
not
you do.
fun. It's not
Thanks,
fun.
Jeff. I know.
So, yeah, here we are once again this week.
It is. It was a whole other week since last week.
Like 5 days in between. Actually, 7.
7. Is that Dawsonville math again?
Yeah, there's 7 days
wow.
in a week, man.
Well, it's really 5 work days, maybe.
Okay.
So there you go.
That-
Actually, you can't even say that because we actually work on the weekends too. So
exactly.
you know,
I never stop working.
yeah, sure, Jeff.
There was a twinge of doubt in that.
Well, everybody's working for the weekend except us. We work through the weekend.
That would be correct. And speaking of that, we've been kind of working on some high school basketball. Wow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The action continues through and continues on. As you know,
We had some wrestling.
Wrestling happened. We are like, 2.5 weeks before region tournaments start in basketball?
It just zooms by. It gets quicker every year.
And then the brutal spring starts.
It's fun for me because I love baseball. And soccer's not so bad.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, so any surprises to you, Jeff, over the last 7 days?
I don't know. Define surprises. Because I think that there are some teams that are still struggling. Still kind of surprised by that. There's some teams that have kind of stepped up. A little bit surprised by that. We had a couple of surprises in the area duels around around our coverage area with a couple of teams that hadn't been in a while that are going to head down to Macon. That's always fun. And I know that's not an event you typically have gone to, but
Macon? Fun?
Well, the area duels are fun. I didn't say Macon was fun. I just said the competition. If they would do it anywhere else, it'd be stellar. If we're just going to go with fun, it'd be stellar if they moved
Hey, at least you get one taco. I mean, you go to Macon, you get one taco,
during the wrestling,
a little bit of
you
rice,
get nothing.
a little bit of beans,
You
maybe.
get nothing
It's a
during
heavily
wrestling.
guarded Georgia State Patrol food
one
table.
taco and
Can't
one
go back for
hilarious
seconds.
restroom experience.
Yes.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, the hilarious restroom experience of which was
Worth the price of
overly
admission?
hilarious, if there's such a thing, to the point of just could not stop laughing. Yeah.
Yeah, we almost didn't get. You guys almost didn't get on the air because of that.
All for our trip to get our one taco and the teaspoon of rice and beans that we got.
It's more like a tablespoon.
and
Tablespoon, not a teaspoon. It's a tablespoon.
4 tortilla chips, a little bit of salsa, like a half a teaspoon.
I tell you what, we're not going to put
More than we got.
when we send this out. We are not going to tweet this out to the GHSA.
More
because we may not get that taco next time.
Hey, more food than we got though at the state football
It's
championships.
the Jacobs Media people. They get 1 grain of rice this time.
1 grain and nothing to drink, which
Is
we're
that
used to.
is that per
because
person
that's
or
what
is that
happens.
split over all of us?
Nah, what per person?
We were actually kind of surprised that there was food at the state basketball championship.
No, they do that every year.
Oh, 1 taco every year.
Well, sometimes
Stretch it out, folks. Stretch it out.
sometimes it's other stuff.
It's more.
They had,
Look,
they had
look,
pizza once. I think.
It's more.
I think they gave you 2 slices of pizza.
What did they take 1 slice and cut it in half?
I don't remember.
little
Seth, do you
smudge.
remember?
Shade being thrown in this
Do you,
in this episode today.
Do you remember? Did they take 1 and slice it, or did they give you 2 full slices? I don't.
They gave us 2 full
I
slices.
think
I'm
they
pretty
gave
sure.
us 2 full slices.
Was it heavily guarded like it was last year?
I do no strip searches.
With the GBI
No- no
standing
sh-
there.
no,
FBI.
no strip searches.
No, okay. Well, hey,
No.
look, it's more food than they gave us at the
Football?
state football championship game.
This is true.
Like not an ounce of water anywhere. Unless
Except
excuse me,
from the sky.
I will say that I
There's
found
plenty of
you
it from the
water,
sky.
but I cannot tell you where I got that because they'll come after
they
me.
will come after
They
you
will come
because that
after
was
me.
clearly posted. But I thank you for that. Thank you for risking your life and limb for a
I did. There's nothing
ice
worse than
cold Sprite.
there's nothing worse than a bunch of jealous journalists who are going, "Hey, that's mine."
It was yeah. So anyway, off the food trade, I guess we could say.
Yeah.
Because we might not get anything if we go back down there. But
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I've changed affiliations. I'm with the GDP. If I did it.
yeah.
I'm here just covering Buford.
Somebody else. All right, so now we're kind of getting a clear picture when we look at the high school basketball of who we think might be, in a deep run for playoffs. We can pretty much go down region by region and really say, okay, this team is going to be there.
Right.
This team is not going to be there. This team could if this and this happens.
I tell you, we were at the Lanier Gainesville game the other day. I was impressed by Lanier. I think it's probably the best team I've seen Lanier have. And yet Gainesville, they did not play the way they had been playing during their 7-game win streak. I think those are 2 teams that could make a run in the playoffs. I think both of them, will come out of the region.
Right.
We don't know which order that's going to be, but I could see both teams making some sort of a run. And you look at 5A, I think you got both Buford teams can make a run. Although I tell you, 8-5A is turning out to be stacked this year, and usually
It is stacked.
it hasn't been quite as deep. So I tell you, Buford's, I think they'll make the playoffs, but will they be a top seed? They may have to hit the defending state champs for the boys may have to hit the road in the first round. The way it's kind of going, in 4A, Flowery Branch girls, I think will be there. I think we were talking about a surprise team. White County lost the other night to Marist in the showdown for first place, but the Lady Warriors playing really well. I think that snapped like a 10 or 11 game win streak. So I think that's a team that's going to be very dangerous in the playoffs.
Now, that was a bad start for White County on Tuesday.
Really.
Mares jumped out 16-1 just immediately.
And it ended up being like a 4 or 5 point game.
But the second half, they shut them down defensively. The
Right.
Mares only scored 14 points in the entire half.
Look, that White County team, I think they have enough ingredients. They have inside, they have outside, and they're playing good defense. They press. Jarvis Davenport has them playing a little bit of that old East Hall style that he was part of when he played for East Hall. Again, that's a team I think that to look out for. I think Flowery Branch girls, if they have their biggest issue is just depth.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So if they get the kind of guard play we think that they
Yes.
can get, they got Ashley Locke inside. I think it's a team that can do some damage. I do. I think it's a team, but they're going to have to kind of figure out a little bit, kind of how they're going to move forward with only 6 or 7 players. Just something they're not used to because they
Right.
usually have 8 or 9 they can go to. When AAA, there are Dawson County boys.
Mm-hmm.
They put a whipping on GAC.
Seth was there. We'd get Coach Hare coming
do.
up later here in the show.
Oh,
We
yeah.
do. I think that's a team that definitely not only can they make a deep run, I think they can challenge for the state title.
You think so?
I do.
I
do.
concur.
You concur?
I do
I
concur.
do.
After seeing, I've seen them a few times now, and
Right.
they're something else. They're pretty good.
Well, Baines County boys have been playing well. But then they got beat by Putnam the other night.
Yeah, that was.
And
the
the
supporting
Raven
cast around Carl
has got
Cleveland
to probably step up a little more.
did not step up on
Right.
Tuesday night.
I think that's the key for them. If they get a guy or two that can come into double figures with them with Carl, because he's going to get his points.
They've got the Sawyer kid. They've got
Pierce Martin.
Pierce Martin, and the Gosnell kid that have been
Right.
there in the double digits.
Yeah.
14, 12, 13 points.
But they gotta all come together.
They have to come together, and they have the firepower to do that. But
and Double A is tough. That's kind of what happened to them last year when they ran into South Atlanta. They were hot. South Atlanta just had a little too much for them. That's going to be the challenge in Double A because eventually you run into some of those really talented, athletic Atlanta teams. But that's a team. I think the Lakeview girls. I mean, they're going to play Hebron here either next week, and they're loaded. I don't think anybody's going to beat them.
the triple threat of Lakeview.
Yes. But Lakeview's a team. I think that group is capable of another Final Four run. I do in Class A private. Lakeview boys were making a step forward. They
Took one back on
took
Tuesday.
one back against Prince Avenue. But that we had Widener was our gaining the edge player. I think he's a player that's really stepped up from beginning of the year to now. Future star. I mean, he's a junior. I'm really looking forward to see where he goes from here for the rest of this season and into next year. If he steps up and they get some help, they still got some people injured.
Speaking of single A, one of the I don't know why it's kind of sticking out to me, but Towns County boys right now
When
are playing well.
They are, and they've been a program that is, the girls for years were a team to be reckoned with. The boys have popped a few pretty good seasons, and this looks like it's going to be one of those years. And we really haven't even talked much about Riverside, and everybody.
And I was about to say Riverside's coming on,
and everybody tells me, and I haven't seen them. I'm going to go see them here in the next week or so. That they have the best talent in Region 8A, and if you got the best talent in Region 8A,
then
I think that puts you in a position where you can do something in the playoffs. So I think there are some teams. How good is North Hall boys? I mean, they're rolling now. They did not look good in the Lanier Land. Which one are they? I think that's going to be kind
North
of a
Hall
question.
girls. They knocked off number 4 Fannin on Tuesday.
Right.
They're now in sole possession of second place.
Right.
Now, granted, they've got a big game coming up with GAC
I
on
think
Friday, so that's going to be key right there because that game, if North Hall can win that game, that's going to put them in a good positioning in the region as far as the region tournament goes. So,
that may be a game where we see just how good is North Hall girls and how far can they go.
Yeah.
Because I think you were at that game last year in Hart County where they probably should have won that game. That puts them in the Final Four.
Should have.
Is this a team that can get to that level? This game against GAC may be the game that kind of lets us know.
I think the interesting thing about that game on Tuesday for the Lady Trojans, when you look at Grace Hollifield, and she only scored 9 points, but North Hall now, and I talked to Christy House on Tuesday night and was just asking her about Ansley Smallwood.
Right.
We know what Ansley can do. We know what Riley McCall can do. Macy Gillespie's a defensive demon.
They have a great nucleus.
But what's happening is when Grace is now maybe they're keying on Hollifield. You've got Smallwood stepping up, McCall stepping up. Smallwood had 22 points on Tuesday, so you have those Gillespie. You have those other girls. You're going to get a solid game from Gillespie because she's going to create the turnovers on defense. I mean, she is just. I told Coach this on Tuesday. She is just a pest on defense.
Right.
She really is, and so they're getting that complement of players that are coming together, and somebody stepping up every night.
Right.
So if North Hall can continue to improve in that aspect, they will give Region 7-3A a run for that title.
Oh, I definitely think they're a contender for the region title, no doubt, and I see them making a run. Can they get to the Final Four and beyond? Maybe I think they have. I mean, we just named basically their starting group, and that's probably the best starting group.
And she plays a ton of freshmen,
right? And that might be the best starting group in Hall County. Again, I think Lakeview might have the 3 best triumvirate
Right,
players,
yep.
but they don't have the depth that North Hall does, which showed a
Which
little
showed in the
bit in the
championship
in the
with
Lanier Land Championship. I think those are probably the two best girls teams in Hall County right now. Nothing against Fiery Branch, but they're still trying. They're learning how to play without depth, which they haven't had to do in a while, and that can be trouble. Everybody's keying on Ashley Locke, so
Right.
you're going to have to find some offense to step up on Flowery Branch. But I think that there's some teams that can make a run. I do.
Well, speaking of making the run, you mentioned Dawson County's boys, and of course we had video highlights from the GAC Dawson game Tuesday night, and the Tigers, they're running through the region at this moment. They're 8-0. I don't know if that's setting them up for a potential upset in the region tournament, which they do not want to do. No team in that tournament wants to come out of Region 7A 3-4 because that means you get Pace Academy and Cedar Grove in the first round. So you don't want to do that. So these teams are going to start, jockeying for position as the final 2.5 weeks of the season go. But the Tigers, they are up 2 games over North Hall in Region 7, 3-8 at this moment, 2.5 over GAC. And Seth, you caught up with Coach Eric Herrick of Dawson County on Tuesday.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I did. He
You
was
just
very.
ruined his great lead-in and segue
I was
right
trying
there.
to segue to you. And
You were, and I was not.
Wake up
I wasn't
over there.
ready.
Wake
I
up.
wasn't ready. Sorry. It's sleepy in this room today.
Yeah,
It is.
Yeah.
But either way, yes, I did get a chance to catch up with Coach. He was very, very proud of his guys, and we'll just go ahead and show you what he said.
They did a great job defensively on Jasper. We knew that was going to happen. And every other guys made plays. We held them 39 points. We had a great defensive effort all around.
And just talk to me about some of these guys on your team, kind of stepping up, getting the points. I know you said you weren't shooting well, but tell me about them stepping up and compensating.
Yeah, we talk about all the time, be great in your role. Not everybody's a Jasper Gibson or a Mason Barnes. I thought Eli Burris was fantastic tonight, getting easy stuff around the basket, dominating the boards. Our post kids did a great job finishing tonight. Just be great in your role, and a lot of kids did that tonight.
Talk to me about the confidence that this is going to give your team moving forward in the region.
I think they got plenty of confidence already coming into this game, but this helps us out. This gives us a 2-game lead and the tiebreaker, so we just got to take care of business from here on out.
If for the first time in a while, the Tigers did not hit a 3-pointer against GAC. Actually, the first time all season. I mean, they're throwing up like 15 threes a game.
I wonder how
making
far back
15
you
threes a
may
game.
have to go back a couple of seasons.
Yeah, you may have to, because that's a really good shooting team. But I think one of the positives there is Eli Burris down low ended up with a double-double for the Tigers, in a 16 and 11 game for him. So
They got so many weapons.
Mhm.
I think that's what makes them so difficult. Obviously Jasper Gibson has the name. So, teams that may not know, like let's say we get to the playoffs, teams go, oh, we got to – you can't just key on one guy on Dawson County because they will bury you. You're going to have to play defense against all 5. And how many times over the years, you've heard it, I've heard it, every coach goes, if you have 5 scorers on the floor, I'm not going to say you're impossible to beat, but almost.
yeah,
Because
especially
it's
if you're all on fire.
Exactly, because
that
it's so
was
hard to play
very,
defense.
Very evident Tuesday while I was watching them is that they can score with and from anybody.
Oh, yeah.
And that's where they're going to get you is because you'll try and set up and try and defend one of them, but they're just going to give it to somebody else and they're going to score too. So
I'm wondering how easy tonight Eric Herrick sleeps going, yeah, kind of. I'm liking this year. His first year at Dawson.
He didn't jump in for no reason.
No. You don't think so, huh?
No. All right, so now it's time for the part of the show where we allow Seth to take it over because Seth likes to make his own picks. Seth, what do you have for us this week?
have some cool stuff. We got how this is working is a little bit different, because we used to, and in football season, we'd have several games, like 2 or 3 games.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to 2 games a week now, so we've got some cool stuff. There's a lot of threes I'm seeing this year.
Raining threes.
I'm seeing more 3-pointers than I've seen in almost any year. Everybody's getting really good at shooting the 3. So
I keep waiting for Seth to call a timeout, go out to half court with his video camera and say, "Will somebody please dunk the ball?"
would you get off that, man? Anyway, we're going to take a
For,
break from.
for years, he would come back with his highlights. Man, you should see this dunk. And he would send me dunk pictures.
We go over this for the last couple weeks.
And I'm kind of done with it. So let's
cool.
move on to
Dunks
this week's
are
portion of
Seth's
Seth's Picks.
You can check out our YouTube page on our YouTube stream. Subscribe to that on YouTube. Just look up Access WD Sports. All right. Now, the other favorite part of the show that everyone loves to see is the
Will Hart Team of the Week.
And
I
this
was ready this time.
this week, the guy in the ceiling, as he announces the Will Hart Team
Why
of the
do
Week.
you assume I'm in the ceiling?
I can't see you, so just to hear you through my
it
ears.
came from under there.
I'm not sure where he is. But, all right, so our 3 team nominees are this week. The Dawson County boys winning 8 in a row. North Hall boys, they are on a roll as well. And the Flowery Branch wrestling team for making the state duels, I think, in more than over 5 years.
6 years.
6 years. 6 years. So,
First time since 2014.
so there are the picks this week. And, Jeff, what say you?
Why do I have to go first?
Because I announced
No, I went
it.
first last time.
No, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, are you directing me to go
I am
first?
directing
You're
you.
directing me
Yeah,
to
I'm
go
directing
first.
I'll
you to
take
go
some
first.
direction. Bo, you should go first this time.
I-
You always make Jeff go first.
I
That's
want
correct.
Jeff to go first.
You should go first.
I don't
though.
want to go first.
Well, that stinks.
Well, we're going to run out the 5 minutes of clock here, and I'm going to dribble out the clock here.
Okay, well, you dribble
I will.
and drool.
Well, I do that
Ouch,
quite
come
often.
on, man.
What's your pick?
My pick.
Okay, I'll go first.
Okay.
I'm going to pick the Dawson County boys. Just 8 in a row. They're on fire right now. They're really in a groove. So I'm going with Dawson boys.
That was my initial pick
Okay?
until we decided to put the Fire Branch Wrestling on there because
I knew it.
I
I knew it too.
I know you guys knew it. That's okay.
Saw it coming on Monday.
You saw it coming on Monday.
I did.
You
I did.
You know, it's if you're a wrestling program and you've been down for a while, it is you've got to get the program back up. You've got to have some success in the big moments,
Mhm.
and it was good to see Flowery Branch. Gainesville was another team had made it in a few years.
So you're going with
They
the
all-
branch.
I'm going to go with Branch.
Okay, so Seth, you will get to do the tiebreaker this week. What you got?
All teams very well deserving. I'm going to go with Dawson, though.
Ooh.
After seeing them play and, seeing the groove that they're in and, like you guys saying, a Dawson team not hitting a three-pointer is just kind of,
That is weird.
whoa. And still
Hashtag
knocking out
awkward.
GAC.
Pretty
I'm-
handily, too.
Yes, pretty
Look, I think it was a good pick.
pretty handily.
I just felt like that Fire Branch Wrestling has been down for many years. It's really nice to see them get back in and get another Hall County team in the mix here. The only Hall County team we've had lately for a couple of years, we've had Cheston, we've had North Hall, and that's about it. So it's nice to see somebody else make it.
All right, so Seth's votes pushed it over. Dawson County boys, congratulations. You are the
Will Hart Team of the Week.
You make me stretch it out so much here. All right, so again, there's no sponsor of this segment. We just call it the Will Hart
And after they see this show, we will continue to not have any sponsors for this segment.
All right, so check us out on Twitter at WDUN Sports. Jeff is at HartJJ22. I'm at the Bo Wilson. Radio schedule coming up on Friday. Walnut Grove at Buford on AM 550 FM 102.9 WDUN.
Boy, that boys game.
Yeah, it's going to be a good
Going
game.
to be something.
No doubt. So for Jeff, for Seth, I'm Bo. Have a great rest of your week.